The United States of America just bombed Iran, not with sanctions, not with a sternly worded letter from the United Nations, but with actual missiles aimed at the capital city, nuclear facilities, and the compound where the supreme leader lived. Israel helped. Trump called it eliminating imminent threats. Iran called it an act of war. And then the supreme leader was confirmed dead, killed in the strike, and a 73-year-old Cold War became the hottest conflict on Earth overnight. If you're sitting there going, wait, how did we get here? You're asking the right question, because the US and Iran have been doing this toxic on-again, off-again thing for longer than most countries have existed. They were allies once, close ones, and then they weren't. And everything since is a domino that fell because of the one before it. This is the US versus Iran war, explained like you're 5. 1953. The US and Iran aren't enemies. They're best friends, the kind where one has all the money and the other has all the oil, and they both pretend it's about something deeper. America helped Iran build its first nuclear reactor, trained their military, and in exchange, Iran let America set up shop in the middle of the Cold War chessboard. You let us plant our flag in the Middle East, and we'll install your dictator for you. You mean elected leader? Sure, with our hand on the ballot box. That dictator, elected leader, was the Shah of Iran, America's hand-picked CEO for an entire country. He modernized parts of Iran, but he also ran a secret police force called SAVAK that made the FBI look like mall security. Torture chambers, political disappearances, the works. Meanwhile, the Shah was living like a Kardashian with nuclear codes, throwing extravagant parties while his people lined up for bread. Sir, the people are rioting. That's terrible. Have you seen the new palace? Gold-plated bowling alley. They're burning your portrait. Weird. Order more portraits. Spoiler, the people did not get over it. In 1979, the Islamic Revolution exploded. The Shah fled. Ayatollah Khomeini took over, and his first order of business was declaring America the Great Satan. Capitalized, printed on banners, chanted in the streets. Then students stormed the U.S. Embassy and took 52 American diplomats hostage for 444 days, while CNN ran a nightly countdown that turned it into the original breaking news loop. From that moment on, no embassies, no phone calls, just decades of sanctions and proxy wars. And somewhere in all that glaring, Iran quietly started building a nuclear program. It's for energy. Is it though? You're not our dad. But we're just getting started, because this is where it gets really stupid. Fast forward to 2002, Iranian dissidents leaked satellite photos showing secret underground nuclear facilities, and not the energy kind. We're enriching uranium inside a mountain and hoping nobody notices kind. Sanctions piled on from every direction, UN, EU, US, and Iran's economy cratered so hard you practically needed a wheelbarrow of cash to buy groceries. How's the economy going? Bold of you to assume we still have one. So in 2015, the Obama administration brokered the JCPOA. Iran stops enriching uranium, allows inspectors in, and the world lifts sanctions. 7 nations signed it, and for 3 years it actually worked. Then 2018 happened, and Trump tore it up on live television. Worst deal ever made, flea market on a Tuesday. Sir, this was a nuclear agreement between 7 nations. Flea market, Tuesday. Moving on. Centrifuges fired back up, enrichment resumed at higher levels than before, and the fragile peace crumbled in a single press conference. Then in January 2020, the US assassinated Qasem Soleimani, Iran's most powerful military commander, with a drone strike at Baghdad airport, just vaporized him on the tarmac like a character getting written off a TV show. 5 days later, Iran launched ballistic missiles at US bases in Iraq. No Americans died, but the message was loud. We can reach you. From that point on, the escalation ladder didn't have brakes, and everybody paying attention knew it was only a matter of time. By 2025, the Middle East wasn't a powder keg anymore. It was a powder keg inside a fireworks factory next to a gas station. Iran's nuclear program was further along than ever, and intelligence agencies on 3 continents were saying the same thing. How close are they to a weapon? Close enough that we're having this conversation in a bunker. One last shot at diplomacy. Geneva, February 2026. Think of it like couples therapy, except both partners showed up armed. Can we find common ground? Our common ground is that we both want the other one eliminated. The talks collapsed within days, and the generals took over. February 28, 2026, around 9:45 a.m. Tehran time, the United States and Israel launched a joint assault across 24 Iranian provinces simultaneously. Israel codenamed it Operation Roaring Lion. The Pentagon called it Operation Epic Fury. Tomahawk cruise missiles from warships, HIMARS rockets, attack drones from Task Force Scorpion Strike used in combat for the first time, and Israeli fighter jets screaming overhead. The targets: nuclear facilities, weapons labs, military command posts, and the residential compound in Tehran, where Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei lived and worked. And here's the part that changed everything. They got him. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the man who'd ruled Iran with an iron fist for 36 years, killed in an Israeli airstrike on his compound at the age of 86. Iranian state TV confirmed it hours later, but he wasn't the only one. Iran's defense minister, the IRGC commander, and the secretary of the Security Council were all killed in the same morning. The entire chain of command decapitated before lunch. Who's in charge now? Excellent question. We'll get back to you. Netanyahu's stated goal: remove the existential threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran. That's diplomatic language for regime change. The quiet part every American president since 1979 has thought but never said out loud. Iran's response was immediate and aimed at everybody. The Revolutionary Guard launched attacks on 27 bases hosting U.S. troops, fired ballistic missiles at Israel while 9 million people scrambled for shelters, and sent missiles at Kuwait and Qatar too. Because apparently, when your supreme leader gets assassinated, you start shooting at the entire zip code. You struck our capital. The response will be crushing. How crushing are we talking? 27 bases, 3 countries, and whatever we have left. By March 1st, Iran declared 40 days of national mourning. And here's what tells you everything about this country. When news of Khamenei's death spread through Tehran, there was cheering in the streets from people who'd spent decades under his rule. Hours later, thousands of their neighbors gathered to wave flags and chant, "Death to America." Grief and relief on the same block, same day, same city. That's Iran, a country so fractured even its reaction to its own leader's death couldn't agree with itself. And now the question nobody can answer: who runs Iran? President Pezeshkian technically leads a provisional council, but in charge is doing a lot of heavy lifting when your defense minister is dead, your IRGC commander is dead, and the assembly of experts can't even meet because half the government is in a bunker and the other half is in a morgue. Who's leading Iran? Define leading. Making decisions for 88 million people. Define decisions. The Red Crescent counted 201 dead and 747 injured on day 1 alone, with strikes still ongoing across 24 provinces. Here's the part that should keep you up at night. America helped build Iran's nuclear program in the 1950s, literally handed them the reactor and trained the scientists. Now, 73 years later, America bombed the facilities it helped create and killed the leader of a government its own coup brought to power. The coup created the revolution created the hostages created the enemies created the supreme leader, and now the supreme leader is dead, killed by the same country that set the first domino in motion 7 decades ago. We're not watching history from a textbook. We're living inside it. The bombs are still falling, and 88 million people just woke up in a country that doesn't know who's in charge.